Hello, welcome to the 19th day of September 2025. My name is Kurt. I'm a 61-year-old American, retired here in the city of Shizuoka, Japan, on the outskirts of the city where it meets the countryside. I live here with my Japanese wife. This is a video that I do every morning at about 5:30 a.m. here in Japan to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone, which you can read for free at goingalone.org. I also use this time to think about the last 20... Hold on. To think about the last 24 hours and how I did with the various challenges and opportunities that I met. Daruma-san seems to be pretty good. Let me put this plant down too. I go over the objectives and one of the principles of my creed called the good life, and I prepare for the coming day. But before I do any of that, I want to say welcome to new subscribers to the channel. It's good to have you here. This is a journal video, so I am at liberty to talk about anything I want for as long as I want. You can watch and leave comments and criticisms as you see fit, which I will read when I get to the end. I will check though to make sure if anybody's leaving any comments if the audio is not good. So, all right, looks like we're okay. I see the blue light. Wow, here comes the wind again. So let's begin. So first of all, I want to also say thank you to my supporters on YouTube, my members on YouTube, namely, and my supporters on Patreon. Let's get started. So I keep notes, and the note from the last 24 hours is, so I always open with a disclaimer, introduction, and then have a review of the last 24 hours, go over the creed, and then covering the next 24 hours. So 4 items. Number 2 is the last 24 hours. I have one note here. It says, day of it's hard to, tongue twister. Day of restless rest. So yesterday it was a very good job of just basically sitting on my sofa here all day. Why? Because I had cataract surgery the day prior, and the bandages came off yesterday, and so I've been instructed to wear eyewear, and I've got these special glasses that protect my eyes, mainly to prevent myself from touching my eye, because I've had a new lens put in this left eye. So also I need to reduce the blood flow. I don't want, to do anything, any straining exercises or anything. So I've just been sitting here all day, which is not very characteristic of me. I'm not a sitter, so to speak. But I did a good job of it yesterday. I'm very proud of myself. I sat on my sofa here, and I watched YouTube videos, and I cleaned up my iPhone. I upgraded both of my phones to the new iOS. It was a good and productive day. Very good and productive day. And hallelujah, my eyes are clear. I can see very clearly now. It's astonishing. It's like looking at the world when I was 15 again. And don't think that fact is not going well noted, and that it hasn't prompted plans for how I will spend the rest of my life, because this should be my vision, barring any other, eye issues. My lenses won't get cloudy again, because they're artificial lenses in both eyes now. I should have good vision for the rest of my life, relatively speaking. How am I going to make good use of this? I really enjoy it. Like, this is really a beautiful scene. Just to sit here on my balcony and look out. Like, I didn't even realize that I had flowers. I think those are Fuji growing in amongst the trees there. Amazing. Oh, there's one right there too. So all I can really say to yesterday was that it was a good and restful day. I fulfilled my stated mission, which was to do next to nothing. I exercised temperance, #temperance, one of my principles, to manage my my restlessness, wanting to do more. Hashtag reason to plan out the day. And I delivered a good and effective use of my time and maintained my balance. Hashtag. All right, let's. I forgot to go over the temperature. I'm a little off my game today. I think it's the wind and the changing weather. The heat has passed, and well, maybe not the heat, but something's different. Clearly, as you can see, it's the humidity. I can see now clearly here. It's 24 degrees, so that's a degree off where it's been for the last couple of weeks, but only 62% humidity. Look at that. So we're solidly, no wonder it feels so good, solidly still in the green for temperature and right in the green for humidity. No wonder it feels like a little bit like heaven today. Hopefully it'll be like this all day, although I heard that the temperature is going to get up to 80 degrees today. Still, that'll be nothing compared to 80 Fahrenheit. I hear that's where that's going to head. It's going to be nothing like it was the last couple of days. Nothing like yesterday. Okay, my creed consists of the following 8 objectives: to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions relative to my values, to recognize my true limits and my true opportunities, to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully, and to maintain my balance. As for a principle, today I'm going to read script writing, which is principle number 29. I added script writing very late in the process of writing this book. In fact, the book was written, I was editing it, I was in maybe the 3rd round of editing, and I came across the idea of script writing, which I'll explain now by reading it. Here we go, script writing, principle number 29, page 271 of the hardbound edition. Life presents us always until death with an almost clean and clear canvas of whatever available time we've left. We may use this canvas to either live whatever life happens to us, just living it as it comes, or to take more active control of our days, hours, and minutes in order to seemingly manage and guide our path according to our seeming will. You can see I smuggled in my suspicion that free will is an illusion by using the word seeming twice, right? And in alignment with our hard-won and decided values, goals, and best practice. This script writing, in quotation marks, requires effort and imagination, as well as optimism if we are to aim our living in the perceived and decided direction of virtue, and to make the most of whatever brief days we have yet the chance to live, experience, and hopefully enjoy. So all I'm basically saying is that as the days arrive one by one, we can live them as they happen, or we can take active role in writing out what we expect to happen. To that end, that is the very next item on my list here, the next 24 hours. You can see I don't have anything listed. That's me not living up to the principle of script writing. If I was in better alignment with that principle, I would have given some more thought to it. I've already been up for more than an hour and a half. I would have given some thought to the day to plan out what I was going to do. I usually make an effort to do that. Almost every day I have some notes here about it, but I could make more of an effort. Plus, script writing also extends to planning and mapping out how a particular event in life might go. As a former project manager, I would use this principle before big meetings with my team. Thinking about having an agenda, thinking about how the agenda might go, where I might get pushback from certain people, how I could handle certain things, and reach a point of moving the project forward, making good use of the meeting time to move the project forward. Script writing was very instrumental for that. As for the next 24 hours, the reason I don't have a note is I know exactly what I'm going to do. More of yesterday, sitting here in my room. Hopefully this will be a very pleasant day of wind and clouds and sunlight periodically, and more wind and clouds. Won't that be nice? And sit here and continue cleaning up the photos and videos on my phone and working on my YouTube channel. Okay, let's go ahead and read comments. Hello, Robert. Goodness. It's Robert's reporting in from Napanee, Ontario at 23C and 54% humidity, and air QI, air quality index, is 33. So air quality is even less good, worse than it was yesterday, huh? And but pretty nice temperature and humidity. Well, 27 is pretty hot. Hello, Ginger. Hello, Ginger 8. First time I've seen you, I think. Maybe your name seems familiar. Maybe it's been a while. Hi, Kurt. About to start my workout. Have a good day. Thank you. You too. Hello, Tim. Good morning. Weather check for here in the UK at 9:39 p.m. is 17.3 C and 83% humidity. 17.3. So 83% humidity, rainy day, humid day. So that's like the fourth or fifth day of rain, huh, for you, Tim? You must be getting a little cabin fever, right? Not going out too much, not getting your daily run-in. Tim, Robert says hi to Ginger, 8. Robert says hi to Tim. Julie, hi, Julie. We have a storm coming in, and it's 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. This is the edge of a storm that went through Baja. I think, Julie, that's exactly what's happening here. It's about 10 degrees cooler right now than it was at this time yesterday. And I don't know if this is a storm, but it sure kind of feels like one. I hope that you enjoy the day in that cooler weather, Julie. Tim says hi to Robert. Evelyn, hello, Evelyn. Hello, Evelyn says hi to everybody. Tim says hi to Evelyn. Robert says hi to Evelyn. Julie says hi to Evelyn. Hope you're having a great vacation. I think, Julie, that what Evelyn is doing is more akin to like a retirement journey, right? In a way. Although I think Evelyn dips her toes back into, and I hope Evelyn doesn't mind me speaking on her behalf. She dips her toes back into the workaday world once in a while. She's also kind of living this lifestyle as well. But actually, wow, seeing the world in the process. Good for you, Evelyn. Tim says, for some reason, I didn't receive any notification the past 2 days for 5 minutes late today. Strange, as I have the notifications all set. Huh, really? Isn't that funny how that works that way? Thanks. Evelyn says it's going to be a long one. Really? Wow. What are you going to climb Mount Vesuvius today? I wonder what you're up to, Evelyn. Julie says, me too, Robert. Oh, so same thing on the notifications. And Rob, there's a hornet right there on my bell. Oh my gosh, look. There's a giant hornet right there. Right there. Did you all see that? It was on the bell. Right there. And then when I flipped the camera around, it came right up to the lens. That was, if you got a good look at it, that was the killer. That was the Japanese giant hornet, the largest hornet in the world, and the most dangerous animal in Japan. And it came right up and gave me a good look-see. Now this is September. This is the dangerous season. This is when they're aggressive, and they can kill. And so I mean, and I've got them in my backyard wilderness here. I see them come through all the time. I was wondering if any of you saw that. That's kind of scary. Julie says, sorry, let me get my thing back to where I was. Okay, so Robert says, Tim, I never trust the notifications. I always check when I'm here, that is. David Jackson, hello, David. Tim, I'd like to learn how to add notifications. It's complex for here. Maybe let me know in Discord if you have time. So I can tell you, so when you go into the, I think I know, when you go into the channel, like go to I'll just pick my channel, but any channel that you want to have notifications for, go to the channel in question, and where there's the subscribe button, there's a little drop down thing that, here comes the hornet's back. Oh no, that's not a hornet, that's a big moth. There's a drop down, and it has a little bell, and you can turn that bell on. And if you have the bell on, then notifications are set, David. I think that's how it works. And ask me in Discord if you want as well. I'll be happy to, if you have any trouble finding it. And welcome, David. Robert says hi to Claude Monet. Oh, Claude's here too. Did I miss Claude's pen? Oh, welcome back to reality. Hello, Claude. Good to see you. And Robert says hi to David as well. Tim says, out on a long walk today. Once you get wet, you get wet. There you go. I like that attitude. So hopefully I can get the dogs walked. I can't get my eye wet, so get the dogs walk. And I don't trust myself with an umbrella between rain showers. Evelyn says, sometimes I miss it because it doesn't say Good Life Meditation. Instead it says retiring in Japan. I'm not so quick to pick up on it like you guys. You know why that is, Evelyn? It's because I upload the retiring. I do 2 videos reliably every day. You probably know this already. A retiring in Japan upload and a Good Life Meditation upload. And I upload them pretty much at the same time. Now, your comment helps me because, for example, I just uploaded the Retiring in Japan video just before I went live here. So that video, if you have notifications set, you would have seen a notification for the Retiring in Japan video. I'm going to adjust my workflow based on your feedback and comment here, Evelyn. I'm no longer going to upload the Retiring in Japan video first. I'll save that until after this is done. So that will help to avoid that confusion. I'm really glad that you pointed that out, Evelyn. I didn't realize that was the case. And sometimes, to make it even more correct, more confusing, I forget to change the title. I forget to add the title, and it comes up as comes up to my default title, which is Wabi Sabi something or other, right? That makes it even more confusing. Evelyn notes that I was correct in describing her life at this point. I'm glad I was able. I know you. Robert says, I saw a blur. Oh, did you? Okay, that was a scary blur. Evelyn, I meant a long vacation because I'm staying for months, then moving on until I can't. I get it. So you use the word long vacation. I get it. Sometimes our vocabulary is, we're constrained by the limits of vocabulary, right? Julie says, that's my favorite way to travel, Evelyn. Also work at different places. Nice. Tim says to David Jackson, subscribe to the channel and just hit the bell icon and select all on the drop down. Thank you, Tim, for adding in the all. That's important. David Jackson, too easy, thanks. Very good. So David's got the message, got it figured out. Evelyn says, I'd like to rejoin the Discord, but it won't let me advance. It says email already being used. So that means that it thinks you're trying to. Can't you just, if your email is already being used, Evelyn, doesn't that mean, could you just log in? It means you're already in the Discord. Could you just log in? Did you forget your email address? I wonder if there's something I can do as the administrator to help you. If you want to try, send me an email and we can try to figure it out. I'll also remind myself to, the rain is coming down. Hold on, let me put this stuff away. I'm here to help you, Evelyn, if you want to continue to try. The reason I have to, I'm not so worried about the rain, except for my eyeball, which I can't get wet, but what I am worried about is this lovely piece of wood, which I use as my outdoor desk. I don't like it to get wet because it's been seasoned. It sat in a farmer's, here in Japan, it sat in a farmer's shed, I think, for decades. And it got this beautiful, rich patina. And I don't want it to get wet because if it gets wet, it'll change the look, the moisture. I just love it as it is. So I always put it away when the rain comes. And put that aside. Yeah, Evelyn, I'm here to help if you have any trouble. If you want to get back into the Discord and have any trouble at all. Tim says, I received the notification for retiring in Japan, but not the good life. You know what? I wonder if it has something to do with the fact, to everyone, that I upload those 2 videos so close to one another every morning. I wonder if there's some timer on the notification that says, well, Kurt just uploaded a video 5 minutes ago and I notified you. I'm not going to pester you with another notification. I wonder if that could be it. What I should probably do is change my workflow, probably to just try to upload the Retiring in Japan video at a different time of the day. Although, it's tricky because there's I'm telling you all more information than you care to know, but it's kind of interesting, and this will help you understand my dilemma. my challenge at least. So there's different cohort of people in my life, kind of. There's you that I can see frequently when you come join me here on this live. And then there's other people that watch the Retiring in Japan video. Sometimes they're the same group, but there are actually distinctly other people that I never see here that reach out to me that will reliably watch the Retiring in Japan video, and they do it as part of their daily activity. I mean, literally, like they tell me they do it like, it's like, is that lightning? Did you guys see a flash? Because I've been seeing flashes and I wonder if it's my eyes. Anyway, they'll do things like, and I used to do this before I came to Japan with Yumiko. We would sit down at dinner and we would watch videos of people who were making their life in Japan before we got here. So now I'm on the other side. I'm a content creator here making life videos about life in Japan, and there are people who literally are having dinner and watching the Retiring in Japan video with their significant other or alone, dreaming of their own life in Japan, maybe, and a lot of them are wannabe retirees who are a couple of years out from retirement, or thinking about maybe coming to Japan, and they're watching my Retiring in Japan videos as a prequel to what that might be like. So the few times that I have like done the Retiring in Japan video later in the day, I get cards and letters from people saying, "Oh, I couldn't watch your video at dinner time because you didn't upload it on time." So you see, I can't easily disconnect the two uploads from this window of time, because I would do this and there's people that watch this, and then I do the Retiring in Japan and there's people that watch that. Maybe what I need to do is just make sure I do the Retiring in Japan upload after the Good Life meditation upload, so that if there is some trigger for the timer, that'll happen. It won't confuse people. Tim says, that might be it, Kurt. I literally received the Retiring in Japan notification probably about the same time you started, a little early. Yeah, I uploaded the Retiring in Japan video like just minutes before I started this. The same time you started, a little earlier for the Good Life, so it might not send another notification. I think that we've uncovered the issue, Tim. So what I will do to change that is I will no longer upload Retiring in Japan until after the Good Life is complete, to avoid that if that's the problem. Thank you all for helping me to understand how that works and have a better workflow. And Evelyn's laughing at cards and letters. I picked up that cards and letters from a boss, the woman that actually gave me the job that helped me to go back to America. She's a very good, very smart woman, and very aggressive private sector. I used to call her, well, people like her, and I hope this comes across, it's not a derogatory statement. I used to call them running dogs, because what I meant was running dogs were people that in the workforce who, and we all know them like that, they don't give up, they don't stop, they don't slow down. They're like a pack of dogs running after their quarry, right? They're not taking it easy. And she was a running dog, and she was my boss's boss. And she was a mover and a shaker. And in our organization, she would do things that would upset the status quo. And we would get into meetings, and we would be talking about things. And she would say, I'm getting all kinds of cards and letters from the organization about this change that we're making. I just love the way she described that, because there was hate mail that she was getting, right? Email from people telling her all these things, but she couched it as cards and letters. So I picked that up from her. Although I don't use it to describe negative letters and stuff. I use it to describe when I say or do something that provokes, like letters to the editor. Like the main one in my life is the main two things that provoke cards and letters on my channel, reliably. More so than the third one. I'll mention a third one that I would have thought would have done it, but it doesn't. Okay, I'll mention it in reverse order. The one that the thing that every now and then comes up that I would have thought would have provoked cards and letters, but does not, is my discussions of religion. I'm not a religious person. And I would have thought that even using the word atheist would send cards and letters my way. It doesn't. People pretty much leave that alone. The thing that brings cards and letters, and I think you guys can figure it out, is one, when I mention death, my own planning for death, and two, this is the big one. If I talk about my degrading health, if I mention things like my mental capacity is decreasing or my body isn't as good as it used to be, people really react to that. They write to me and they'll say, you're still young. Why don't? It's almost like I was talking about their kids on YouTube. It's like, don't say stuff like that. Or don't. I was like Will Smith. Get your wife's name out of my mouth, right? And they're like, don't you say? They get really. I mean, they really are cards and letters in the boss sense, right? They're upset. They're like, I don't want to hear you talking about that card. You've got lots of years ahead of you. And then they always. My great grandma Rutabaga lived to 90, and she smoked a pack of cigarettes and a fifth of vodka and drank a fifth of vodka every week. I mean, cards and letters. And that was part of the thing that helped me to realize, and I haven't really found a way to codify this into my creed. And maybe I won't. Maybe it's just a supplemental thing. There goes a hornet. I hear it. Yeah, I can hear it. It's above me somewhere. There it goes. It helped me to realize that when people are sending me cards and letters, they're not as much addressing anything that I said, as much as revealing about themselves. There's terms for that people use. The projection, right? Projection and stuff like that. They're projecting their own maybe it's a fear of death, or not wanting to face the fact of death. It all boils down to death, right? Not being ready for death, and my bringing it up is unsettling to them for that reason. Anyway, I've gone on and on about that, haven't I? Tim says, give it a try and we'll let you know. Thank you, Tim. I think you're referring to the changing of the workflow, and I will do that. Julie says, this is really a surprise to me, but I guess it is part of that denial thing that people do. I think you hit it right on the nose, Julie. That's exactly what it is, and they don't want to hear it in their own mind, and they don't want anybody else to bring it up. Robert says, Kurt, thoughts given voice to become more powerful. It's set out of love. It's why we are all there with you. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. Evelyn says, I get the same reaction from folks older than me when I talk about my own health. So odd. And Evelyn deliberately made uppercase the word my, emphasizing the fact, and I know what you're doing there, Evelyn, you're emphasizing the fact that the irony that you're not talking about their health, right? And I'm not talking about anybody else's death. I'm not talking about anybody else's health, but just my own. But you're right, they're responding because what they're doing is like you said, they're well, like what we're all talking about here. They're reacting to the self-reflection, right? Robert says, agree, Kurt, projection is a common thing too, but I stand by my previous comments. I hear you. I do believe you're right. They probably do care, but I think the greater measure of what they're saying is a visceral reaction to not wanting to hear me talk about something that they don't want to talk about themselves. K9 Healthy, what a great name. Evelyn, did you catch that? K9 Healthy, what a great name. I like that. Evelyn and I are both big fans, as many of us are, of dogs. Welcome, K9 Healthy. I haven't seen your name here before. I would certainly recognize that name if I'd seen you. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm just about wrapping up, but I'm glad you dropped in. Robert says, irony, a powerful tool of humor. Yes, for sure. Tim says, it's funny about health. If it's physical, people will have their say. If it's mental health, I find the same people disappear. Interesting. Hold on a minute. I want to dwell on that for a second. If it's physical health, people will have their say. If it's mental health, people will disappear. And that's something to think about, and I will. Evelyn says, all I'm saying is that when I'm ready for it, all I'm saying is that when I'm ready for it, not going to stop me. There you go. There you go. Evelyn said the quiet part out loud. That for many of us is the case, and it's funny. That's the one thing that I rarely talk about. I'm sure you've heard me talk about it, Evelyn, because you've been with me for a long time. But that's the one thing that I rarely talk about. Whether I'll have the strength to pull it off will be the question or the opportunity, right? Robert says, hello to Canine Healthy. Robert says, Evelyn, I've been dead before. It was a wonderful experience. Well, there's something. Claude says, I'm looking forward to 80 to 80 and the 10th Shikoku pilgrimage. Have you done the Shikoku pilgrimage 9 times already, Claude? Canine, and congratulations on approaching 80. Canine Healthy says, hi. Claude says, 2 down and 8 to go. Wow. Tim says, and for those that don't know, the big pilgrimage on the island of Shikoku, one of the main islands here in Japan, is a really big deal. It's especially so to the Japanese, but for foreigners to do it is really cool. Good for you, Claude, that you're embarking on that endeavor. Tim says, I think people find mental health a lot more difficult to process if it's happening to someone else. And with that, I've reached the end of the comments. And one more. If it's physical health, then they can deal with that better. Isn't that interesting? Well, there's got to be something to that. Maybe it's because mental health seems less tactile, right? Less like something you can actually tackle or do something about. If it's your physical health, well, eat better and get more exercise. But mental health, what do you do with that, right? I mean, people have ideas. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for dropping by. Some new people visited today. It's good to see you here as well. I'm really grateful for that. Thank you for your patience while I am literally a mess. I'm not able to. My wife got me these wipey things, and I can wipe down my body because I can't take a shower until like tomorrow night. And then I can't wash my head for like a week. So I'm unkempt, unshaved, just literally a mess. And but all for the sake of clear vision. And boy, I'm going to make good use of this vision as soon as I out of this get well gel in my room. Take care, everybody. I hope you enjoy the day. Julie, if that storm's coming your way, I hope you carry it well. Tim, hey, if your feet are wet, right? And Evelyn, ganbatte ne, enjoy every day. Make that good use of time that you're doing. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Look after the eye. Lots of reading. Thank you, Tim. We'll do that. Bye-bye.